Hey everyone, and welcome back. Are you ready to explore the future of AI?
Ready when you are.
Perfect. Because today, we're diving into some bold predictions from David Shapiro. He's a real innovator in the AI world.
Right. He's not just talking the talk. This is someone who's actually out there building the future of AI, especially with his work on projects like Raspberry.
Exactly. He's got skin in the game, which makes his insights even more compelling. So he's laid out 5 key things he sees happening in the world of AI in the coming years, and let me tell you, it's a pretty wild ride.
Yeah, he doesn't hold back. But before we get into the specifics, I think it's worth emphasizing that Shapiro's not just some tech Nostradamus making vague predictions.
Totally.
He's deeply involved in AI development. He's got his finger on the pulse of what's happening right now. So when he talks about where things are headed, it's worth paying attention.
Absolutely. So should we jump right in?
Let's do it. What's the first big prediction on Shapiro's list?
Well, strap yourselves in because this one's a doozy. He's predicting billions, with a B, billions of AI agents.
Billions. It's almost hard to fathom, isn't it?
It really is. And we're not just talking about smarter versions of Siri or Alexa here.
No, we're talking about autonomous agents that can operate on your behalf, making decisions, interacting with each other, even innovating in ways we can barely imagine right now.
It's like a whole other world operating in parallel to ours. But instead of humans, it's all these AI agents buzzing around getting things done.
Exactly. And that brings us to Shapiro's second prediction, which is all about what it takes to power this massive agent ecosystem.
Right. It's not just about the AI itself. It's about the infrastructure.
Exactly. Shapiro's talking about sprawling data centers consuming energy on a scale that's almost unimaginable right now.
So we're talking a whole new level of energy consumption just to keep these AI agents running.
Which obviously raises questions about sustainability and whether we can even handle that kind of energy demand.
Huge questions. But assuming we can figure out the whole energy thing, what about access to these powerful AI models? Is it just going to be the tech giants calling the shots?
Well, that's where Shapiro's third assertion comes in, and it's actually quite hopeful. He believes that while the most advanced AI models might remain exclusive, we're going to see a surge in more affordable, off-the-shelf AI models.
So kind of like open source AI that anyone can use and adapt.
Exactly. Think of it like building your own website. You don't need to code everything from scratch anymore. You can use pre-built templates and tools. Shapiro sees the same thing happening with AI, where you'll have these ready-made components that you can piece together to create your own AI applications.
I love that idea. It's like democratizing AI, making it possible for anyone to harness its power, not just the big players.
Exactly. And that's what makes this prediction so interesting. It's not just about the raw power of AI, but how accessible and widespread it becomes.
It's like the difference between having a supercomputer and having a smartphone that can do almost as much.
Exactly. But just like with a smartphone, having access to the technology is only half the battle.
Right, you need to know how to use it effectively.
Exactly. And that's where Shapiro's fourth assertion comes in, which is all about the importance of architecture.
Architecture, huh? So we're not just talking about physical buildings, right? We're talking about the structure of the AI systems themselves.
Precisely. Shapiro argues that even the most powerful AI model is useless without the right system built around it, the right architecture to support its capabilities and channel its power.
So it's not enough to just have a super fast processor or a massive database. You need the right software, the right algorithms, the right design to make it all work together seamlessly.
Yes. Think of it like, I don't know, having a Ferrari engine. It's a powerful engine, right?
Yes, sure.
But it's not going to do you much good if you don't have a car to put it in. You need the right vehicle, the right structure to harness that power and turn it into something useful.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. So we've got billions of AI agents, massive data centers, AI models for everyone, and the importance of building the right structures to support it all. What's next on Shapiro's list?
Well, buckle up, because this is where things get really wild. His final prediction is perhaps his most intriguing: the rise of AI marketplaces.
AI marketplaces, what does that even mean?
Imagine a bustling online space where AI agents interact and trade services with each other. Think of it like eBay or Amazon, but instead of humans buying and selling products, it's AI agents buying and selling services from each other, all powered by the decentralized nature of blockchain and cryptocurrency.
Wait a minute, hold on. AI agents buying and selling from each other. It's not like something straight out of a science fiction movie.
It does, doesn't it? But Shapiro believes this is where things are headed. A future where AI isn't just a tool we use, but an active participant in a complex, interconnected digital economy.
It's like Wall Street, But instead of traders in suits, it's AI agents making deals at lightning speed.
Exactly. And this is where things start to get really interesting, both in terms of the potential benefits and the potential risks. But we'll dive into all of that after a quick clock. And that's where it gets really interesting, for us.
Yeah, this is the part I always get excited about. How does this actually play out in our daily lives?
Right, because we can talk about billions of agents in these massive, complex
Yeah,
systems.
it's mind-boggling, but what does it mean for me on a Tuesday afternoon?
Exactly. And Shapiro does a great job of bringing it down to earth with some really specific examples. Like, one that really stood out to me was his vision of personal automation.
Personal automation. So like AI taking care of all the tedious stuff we hate doing.
Exactly. Imagine if you had agents managing your work tasks, like going through your inbox, scheduling meetings, even drafting emails for you.
So instead of me spending hours every day just trying to stay on top of everything,
Your AI team is handling it all in the background.
that's the dream, right? Just
Yep.
having more time to actually focus on the work that matters.
And more mental energy, too, right? Because all that administrative stuff, it takes a toll.
Oh, absolutely. It's exhausting. Okay, so AI is our super efficient assistants. I like it. But let's talk about something a little more concrete. Shapiro also uses the real estate market as an example, right? How these AI agents could completely transform how we buy and sell property.
Yeah, and this is a great illustration of how this technology could disrupt even really complex industries. Because imagine a world where you've got AI agents constantly analyzing market trends, property values, identifying investment
It'd
opportunities.
be like having a team of real estate experts working for you 24/7,
Exactly.
finding you the best deals, helping you negotiate, all that stuff that's so time-consuming and stressful right now.
Exactly. And Shapiro even talks about how these agents could help with things like property management, even finding tenants and collecting rent.
It's almost like it takes all the friction out of the entire process,
Exactly. But of course, this brings up another really important question.
which is,
Security and privacy.
right, because if we're going to be trusting these AI agents with our work, our finances, our personal data,
Yeah. We need to know that information is actually protected.
absolutely. So how does Shapiro address that?
Well, he talks about something called zero trust proofs, which sounds a bit intimidating,
A little bit.
but it's actually a really elegant solution. Essentially, it's a way for AI agents to work with sensitive data without ever actually seeing it in its raw form.
Okay, so like they can access and process the data.
But they don't ever actually get to see what that data is.
Right.
Think of it like,
Like a courier delivering a package. They can get it from point A to point B safely,
exactly.
but they don't know what's inside.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of zero trust proofs. It allows for all this complex data processing and analysis to happen without compromising privacy or security.
Mm.
And this is something that Shapiro sees as absolutely crucial for building trust in this new AI-driven world.
Okay, so we've got AI agents handling our work, our investments, maybe even negotiating our rent payments. It's a lot to wrap your head around.
Yeah.
But I have to ask, what's the bigger picture here? Where does Shapiro see this all heading?
Well, that's the really fascinating part. He actually thinks this could be even bigger than just individual AI breakthroughs. He's talking about a future where true AI advancement isn't about creating some kind of super intelligent being.
Right, not like a single Skynet controlling everything.
Exactly. He sees it as a kind of networked intelligence, a kind of collective intelligence.
Okay, so instead of one giant AI brain, it's more like,
More like a global brain formed by all these interconnected agents.
wow. So all these AI agents we've been talking about, they're like the neurons in this global brain, constantly communicating and sharing information.
Exactly. And just like the network of neurons in our brains gives rise to, our thoughts, our emotions, our consciousness even, Shapiro believes that this network of AI agents could lead to a whole new level of intelligence, a kind of emergent intelligence that's greater than the sum of its parts.
So these AI marketplaces we talked about, they become like the central nervous system of this global brain.
Right, constantly buzzing with activity. Agents exchanging information, learning from each other, solving problems in ways we can't even imagine right now.
It's both exhilarating and a little terrifying to think about.
I know, right? And it really makes you think about what our role is in all of this.
Exactly. Because if this is the future of AI, where do we fit in?
Right. Are we just along for the ride, or do we have a say in how this all plays out? And I think that's what makes Shapiro's predictions so thought-provoking.
Because he's not just telling us what he thinks will happen.
He's challenging us to really grapple with the implications of this technology and to think critically about the kind of future we want to create with it.
And he leaves us with a particularly striking image. He says, and I'm paraphrasing here, These AI agents are going to be spending a lot more time talking to each other than they are to us.
Which I think really drives home the point that this is a future that's rapidly approaching, and it's one where we might not be the ones in control.
Definitely a lot to ponder. Well, that's about all the time we have for today's deep dive. But to our listeners, we want to hear from you. What do you think about Shapiro's predictions? What kind of future do you see for AI? Head over to our website or find us on social media to share your thoughts. Until next time, keep asking questions and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.